taxes. Finance Minister Favour Williams tabled the estimates of expenditure on Thursday and outlined a raft of new tax measures. This as the government prepares to respond to the reconstruction needs from Hurricane Melissa. It's the first time a finance minister also tabled new tax measures alongside the budget. Siobhan Campbell tells us more.
As Jamaicans continue to recover from the devastation caused by Hurricane Melissa, the government has presented its budget and priorities shaped by the new realities caused by the Category 5 system. The government intends to spend just over $1.4 trillion in the upcoming fiscal year. With inflation of 4.5% factored in, the budget stands at $1.37 billion in real terms. That's up from the $1.2 trillion initially proposed at the start of the current fiscal year. On the recurrent side, the Holness administration plans to spend just over $1.3 trillion to fund its day-to-day activities. The Ministry of Finance, as is normal, has received the lion's share of the proposed expenditure at $567 billion. Of that sum, $378 billion has been set aside to cover the country's debt for the next financial year. This is followed by the Ministry of Education, which is expected to spend nearly $200 billion in the coming financial year. This is actually down from the $211 billion estimated to be spent this year. The Ministry of Health is estimated to spend $187 billion, and that's down from $193 billion. Of particular note, the government intends to spend just shy of $100 billion on major projects through its capital expenditure. That's compared to the $62 billion spent in the current fiscal year. And for the first time, the government has tabled its tax measures alongside the budget. It follows Finance Minister Favour Williams' announcement on Wednesday evening that the administration will need to levy additional taxes in order to cover fall-offs in revenues caused by Hurricane Melissa. According to the measures tabled, the new taxes include the application of GCT to digital services and other non-tangible goods, and a special consumption tax on non-alcoholic sweetened beverages.
The SCT will be applied at a rate of 0.02, which is 2 cents per milliliter. The estimated revenue gain associated with levying the SCT on non-alcoholic sweetened beverages is estimated at $10.1 billion and will take effect during the first quarter of fiscal year 2026-2027.
Additional taxes on alcoholic beverages and cigarettes have also been proposed. An increase in the environmental levy and the GCT on specified tourism-related products are also among the measures presented. Minister Williams also announced a potential increase in property taxes could be coming.
Property taxes have remained at the same rate since fiscal year 2016-17. Property values have remained at the same value as they were then on the books of government. Our property taxes support our municipalities and the National Solid Waste Management Authority. The Prime Minister, to whom the National Land Agency reports, has approved the National Land Agency to begin a revaluation of the many parcels of land in Jamaica. This work will take about 12 months, and so that valuation will advise the new property tax rate for fiscal year 27-28.
The measures announced in the House total approximately $36 billion in additional taxes to the government. Siobhan Campbell for Nationwide News.
Meanwhile, Minister Williams says the government remains committed to increasing the income tax threshold in the upcoming fiscal year. This will raise the threshold to $1.9 million as promised last year.
Finally, Madam Speaker, last year in this Parliament, as a government, we gave a commitment to the increase in the threshold to $1.9 million for fiscal year 2026-27. Madam Speaker, this government also remains committed to the increase in the threshold to $1.9 million come April 1, 2026. So, Madam Speaker,
the minister says the government is also still committed to the public sector wage offer already on the table despite the disruption caused by Hurricane Melissa. Mrs. Williams says the administration will continue to provide assistance to the Jamaican people in this difficult time.
My message is a message of hope. to all Jamaicans to say we will rebuild homes, churches, schools, businesses, lives, livelihoods, our telecom network, our electricity grid, hotels, roads, our produce farms, our vegetable crops, fishing villages, animal farms. Madam Speaker, much of that work is already underway. Today, we are helping to restore homes and livelihoods and put persons in a position in which they'll be able to put one foot in front of the other and begin life anew. Today, Madam Speaker, we clear roads and replant electric poles that have been scattered by Hurricane Melissa. Tomorrow, we build highways that are climate resilient, promote efficient connectivity.
Favour Williams, Minister of Finance and the Public Service. She was speaking in Parliament on Thursday.
And Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says the government's decision to introduce new taxes this year was a last resort as his administration seeks to present a credible budget. The Prime Minister is also seeking to reassure Jamaicans that the impact will not be significant. He was speaking with journalists following the ceremonial opening of Parliament on Thursday. Shalois Michael reports.
The Holness administration had enjoyed a decade-long stretch of chanting the mantra, "No new taxes." That came to an end on Thursday when Finance Minister Favour Williams unveiled a slew of new taxes. Dr. Holness says the tax package was a last resort.
We don't take taxation lightly. It is literally the last resort. But we have to present to the people of Jamaica a credible budget, meaning that the people looking on what we propose can have confidence that what we're doing will be to their benefit and will prevent future need for more severe taxation.
The Prime Minister says the unprecedented shock from last October's landfall of Hurricane Melissa left the administration with few choices.
I don't believe that anyone could reasonably expect that we could present a budget without even a limited tax package. And the reason for the taxation is not because of government profligacy, because of wastage or bad policy. It is because of a super phenomenal event that has caused significant damage, created more expenditure than we can accommodate in our general revenue.
Despite the new taxes, the Prime Minister is seeking to assure Jamaicans that measures are in place to protect those vulnerable.
I think when it is able and the public sees it, I believe there will be a significant understanding of the measures. I believe we have done as best as we could, and I ask for the understanding of all Jamaicans. Just to be clear, we're not putting in any measure that is going to create a burden on the most vulnerable. I think the average person should not worry.
Shalois Michael for Nationwide News.
Meanwhile, opposition leader Mark Golding is warning the government that the new taxes could cause a further slump in the economy. His comment follows the government's announcement of new taxes in the upcoming 2026-2027 budget.
We have to see what they're going to propose. The economy is in a slump because of the hurricane, and additional taxation is typically something that promotes further slump in the sense that it depresses demand and so on. We have to scrutinize what specific taxes they're coming with. We recognize the challenges that they face, but we have to see exactly what the details are with that.
Mark Golding, opposition leader.
And Mr. Golding says he's unhappy with the pace of the Hurricane Melissa recovery effort across the worst affected parishes. He says the government's heavily bureaucratic approach has complicated the process.
I think the response has actually been very slow, especially in relation to housing relief, which is a critical item. Many people are suffering without shelter as we speak. And the relief that has been put in place in quotes so far has been done in a way that's very bureaucratic. I'm talking about the MP-driven relief, the $10 million per constituency in the badly affected areas, much smaller sums in other areas. But it's been very difficult to access that, and many of the MPs have not been able to do it. People are really feeling it now, and there's a lot of self-congratulation and backslapping going on amongst the government, but the proof of the pudding is in the eating and what people are actually feeling on the ground.
Mr. Golding also criticized the manner in which the National Reconstruction and Resilience Authority, NARA, is being brought into operation.
People are still without water, people are still without electricity, and so, I can't say that I'm happy with the progress. I know it's a very difficult situation, But what about NARA? You know, it's established in courts, but it has no legal authority or power. Why has legislation not been brought to Parliament to enact NARA? You know, this is a major existential issue of our time, this hurricane that hit us. And the construct that the government has put in place, or says it's putting in place to deal with it, it hasn't even got off the ground yet. So I don't rate that at all.
That's Mark Golding, the opposition leader. He was speaking outside Gordon House on Thursday. You're listening to the news on Nationwide at 5. We'll have more after these.